Hello everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome back to my channel. So the case that I have for you guys today is one that absolutely infuriated me, and I know it will make you angry too. It was such a senseless and pointless crime that I can't even begin to understand. But before we get into the video, I just wanted to go ahead and say a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Scentbird. I've been using Scentbird for such a long time at this point, and I have been loving it. Scentbird is a fragrance subscription service that gives you the chance to shop from over 600 brands, including designer brands like Prada, Gucci, and Versace, as well as indie labels like Confessions of a Rebel and The Harmonist. You can feel confident that the fragrances are 100% authentic because Scentbird works directly with the brands. You get to pick a new designer fragrance every single month for men or women for only $16. It's really nice because you get a 30-day supply so that you can try out the scent, see if you like it before you actually commit to buying the full bottle, which sometimes can cost $100 to $500. So that's why it's so nice that you get such a generous amount in each sample for such a reasonable price. Each of these vials can last up to 30 days, and you can see how much you get with each one. It's a very flexible service as well, so you can skip any month without penalties, or you can upgrade to get 2 to 3 cents per month. Each fragrance comes with this cute little card that tells you exactly what goes into each scent, tells you all the ingredients so you know exactly what you're getting, and it kind of gives you this cute little description of each one. So this scent is Sanctuary by Red Panda. I absolutely love this scent. It's such a sweet, light, natural scent that goes great for almost any occasion. I feel like this scent would be great for a date night or a cute little wine movie night with the girls. I also have Juice 100% Chilled, which is another sweet, fun, fruity scent that seems great for going to work or going out. If you don't know exactly what fragrance will fit your taste, or if you just want to discover new fragrances, Scentbird has a simple quiz that will give you suggestions based on your preferences, your previous purchases, and your answers to each question. So if you want to get in on this amazing service, make sure you click the link down in the description box below and use code RachelS55 for 55% off of your first order. That makes it only $7 for your first order, which is such a great deal on already such an amazing service. Thank you again so much to Scentbird for sponsoring today's video. So with all of that being said, let's get into today's case. Today, we are going to be discussing the murder of Alexis Crawford. Alexis Crawford was born December 23rd, 1997 to her parents Tammy Crawford and Bobby Wright in Athens, Georgia, and she had 5 brothers and 4 sisters, all of which she was very close with. She was described as being a fun-loving person who lived her life with no regrets. She was family-oriented and very greatly valued family gatherings and family events. She was very close with her family and made sure to stay in contact with everybody that she loved on a daily basis. She loved drawing, shopping, traveling, and spending as much time as she could with her family. She was called Lex by those who knew and loved her, but I will call her Alexis. One of her older sisters said that Alexis refused to live her life with guilt or fear. She put her faith in God, and God was her rock during hard times. Many of her friends said that she took her friendships very seriously. One friend said that she's never seen Alexis betray a friend, and she was always trying to be there for her friends. Her best friend talked about how the two of them would be up late talking about how they were going to be rich someday and own a big house. She said, quote, "We made a bet that whoever had kids first would make the other the godmother. Well, Lex, I guess I gotta do it. For the both of us, I'm gonna get that degree. I'm gonna go to law school and live our dreams and make you proud." Another friend talked about how there was times where she would return home late, exhausted from college dance practice, but Alexis would always make sure that the friend had something to eat before going to bed. Alexis attended Clark Central High School, graduating in 2016. After graduating, she went on to attend Clark Atlanta University and double majored in sociology and criminal justice, with hopes of possibly becoming a lawyer someday. A friend from college said that while she was attending, she even wanted to start a women's empowerment group for high school students. That's just the kind of person that she was. She clearly had a very strong heart for others and wanted to see justice for everybody. During Alexis's freshman year of college, she met another student at CAU named Jordan Jones. Jordan grew up in a small town called Auburn Hills in Michigan. After meeting, the two connected immediately and were soon best friends and absolutely inseparable. They were so close that Alexis even invited Jordan to be with her family in Athens for Thanksgiving and Easter. They said that they welcomed Jordan with open arms and treated her like she was family. They described Alexis and Jordan as two peas in a pod. They became so close, in fact, that they decided that they were going to be roommates, so they moved into an apartment together at the Heritage Station, located only about 5 minutes away from campus. However, not everything in Alexis's life was going as well as her family and everyone else around her thought it was. So Alexis's roommate Jordan had been dating a 21-year-old named Barron Brantley. Barron Brantley is a self-titled artist and rapper. His Instagram bio reads, "I'm an artist giving y'all a head start and not looking for a handout." But Barron has a pretty lengthy criminal history. In February of 2019, he spent 2 weeks in jail for a family violence incident. Records indicate that he also has charges such as battery, cruelty to children, hindering persons making an emergency phone call, simple battery, criminal trespass, robbery, and theft. He also has several charges of speeding, reckless driving, driving with a suspended license, driving without a license, and eluding a police officer. So on October 26th, 2019, Alexis, Jordan, and Barron all decided to go out to a bar, have some fun, and have a few drinks as college kids do. The three drank quite a bit, and all of them got pretty intoxicated, so later in the night, they all returned back to the apartment that the girls shared. Once they got home, Jordan was actually feeling pretty sick and she was pretty tired, so she went ahead into her own room to just go lay down and sleep it off for a little bit. Once Jordan woke up, she tried getting into the bathroom, but the bathroom door was locked. So she started knocking on the door repeatedly until Barron came out of the bathroom with his shirt off. When she looked behind Barron, she immediately saw that Alexis was laying on the floor unconscious, wearing only a bra. I saw in some reports that the first thing that Barron said to Jordan was that he didn't sleep with Alexis, while I saw in other reports that he straight up said that he didn't rape Alexis. Either way, the first thing that Barron said to Jordan was denying that he had done anything with or to Alexis. So of course, Barron and Jordan started arguing. He continued to deny that he did anything to or with Alexis sexually before grabbing Jordan's keys to her Chevy Cruze and then took off in her car. Then that night after this, Jordan called 911 to report that her ex-boyfriend had stolen her car, but she did not mention anything about her friend or a possible sexual assault or rape anytime in this call.
Atlanta 911, operator 7378, what's the address of the emergency?
McDaniel Street.
What's the street name?
McDaniel Street.
What's the apartment number? You need police, fire, EMS.
Yes, because my ex-boyfriend just stole my car. He took my keys and ran, and I'm about to...
What kind of car you got?
A 2017 red Chevy Cruze.
You know your tag number?
No. 1 second. I could get it.
It's okay. You don't have to have it right now as long as you have it when the officers get there, okay?
Okay.
What's your name?
Jordan Jones.
All right, Miss Jones.
Jordyn.
All right. Is there a gate code to get in your car, please?
Huh?
Is
No,
there a gate
it's
code?
open.
All right. We'll get an office out for you.
And it's Michigan plate.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
After calling 911, Jordan then called her friend named Brittany to tell her that her car had been stolen. In this call, she also mentioned that something may have happened to her friend. She asked Brittany to come over, and she did. By the time Brittany had gotten there, she found Alexis sitting on the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. At that time, she disclosed to Brittany that she believes that she had been sexually assaulted while she was unconscious. So Brittany immediately called police, who arrived and took Alexis to Grady Hospital. I believe it was also this time that they took down the report for the stolen car. The details on this exactly are a little bit muddy, if it was the same cops who took down the report or if it was different ones who showed up for two different incidents. I'm not completely sure. But either way, while at the hospital, Alexis did file a sexual assault report against Barron. So the next part talks about the details of what happened. It's really uncomfortable to read and to listen to, and it can be very triggering for those of you who have had a similar experience. So if you're uncomfortable listening to details that are related to sexual assault, please skip ahead for about 30 seconds. Alexis reported that Barron had followed her into her bedroom while she was still fully clothed. She said that he started then rubbing her shoulders and kissing her neck, and when she asked him what he was doing, he said that, "Whoops, sorry, I thought you were Jordan." She said that she then went into the bathroom and closed the door to try and get away from Barron, but after that, she blacked out. She couldn't remember anything that happened after he made these initial advances. All she remembers is that she woke up and found herself laying on the bathroom floor naked when she had entered into the bathroom fully clothed. After this, of course, a rape kit was done, and it was confirmed that she had been raped, and Barron's DNA had been found inside of her body. So from what I read, the only part of the police report that was taken that day was relating to the unwanted kissing and touching. I don't think that they had confirmed with police that she had been raped based on the rape case. I don't think that they knew that his DNA had been found in her. I'm honestly not sure how long it took for the DNA to come back as belonging to Barron. One article I read said that it wasn't until much later that they found the DNA, so that's definitely something I wanted to note. Basically, that was the police department's reasoning for why they didn't immediately arrest Barron. After this incident, obviously, Alexis was traumatized. She told her friends that she didn't even feel comfortable sleeping on her own bed, so instead she opted to sleep on the couch, which was in the living room. She was no longer on speaking terms with her roommate Jordan because she was taking his side. Barron had told Jordan that he was so intoxicated that he thought that Alexis was her, and that is how this all happened. So Jordan and Barron got back together as if nothing happened, which obviously to begin with is just atrocious, but it's also really confusing. So what, he convinced Jordan that he thought she was the one laying on the floor unconscious and that, "Oh, I thought I raped you even though I raped somebody else." Even if that's the case, why is Jordan okay with that? Why is Jordan okay with someone saying, "Oops, thought I raped you"? I don't know. It's just disgusting. And things that we'll find out about this is disgusting, but we'll just leave that there for now. So to add insult to injury after the fact that she got back together with Barron, even though Jordan knew that Alexis was assaulted and raped while she was unconscious and that she was terrified of Barron, Jordan still allowed him to come into their apartment. She snuck him into their room on October 27th, and he was there in her room, not leaving, just hiding in there for about 4 days. She would even leave him alone in her room, even while Alexis was still home while Jordan went to class. It was even so bad that Jordan went out of her way to reach out to members of Alexis's family to tell them that Barron's DNA was not found in the rape kit, which was a blatant lie. So all of this was done behind Alexis's back without her knowledge. So this whole time she was in her apartment thinking, I'm traumatized, this is awful, but at least I'm safe in my own apartment. I don't have to see him again, not knowing that he was sitting there 10 feet away from her in Jordan's room. Wednesday, October 30th, 2019 was the last time that Alexis's family had heard from her. Her mom, Tammy, said that the two were on FaceTime at 3:23 p.m. that day, and during the call, Alexis seemed to be in good spirits, and she was laughing and joking as she always did. By 3:30 p.m., she had FaceTimed her sister, Monica, to ask her if she could cash up her some money. So Alexis's dad gave Monica the money, and then Monica gave the money to Alexis. At 8:44 p.m. that day, her other sister, Alexandria, texted her to ask her what her plans were for that weekend, to which Alexis replied with the word nothing. Alexandria sent a follow-up text to this, and Alexis did not reply. Then at 9:03 p.m., Alexis shared an Instagram post. I don't know exactly what this post was. I haven't seen it for myself, but just based on what I've read about it, it seemed to be just like your typical post. At 9:24 p.m., she responded to an Instagram group message with a laughing emoji. After this, her family had not seen or heard from her. By 11:30 p.m., still on the 30th, Alexa was seen on surveillance video at a liquor store called D&M Package on Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard. Jordan was the one who had driven her there. After this, they went back to their apartment before Alexis and Jordan went their separate ways to go to bed at 12:30 a.m., now going into October 31st. Jordan said that when she got up and went to class that next morning, Alexa was not in the apartment. However, the entire day of October 31st, Alexis had not gotten into contact with her family. Like I said earlier, Alexis was in constant contact with her family on a daily basis. So for her to go an entire day without contacting anybody, this was very unusual. She would always respond to something, even if it was responding saying that she was busy and couldn't talk right now. By the time November 1st rolled around with still no contact from Alexis, her family knew that something had to be wrong, so they reported her missing to the police. Of course, after this missing persons report, police went ahead and questioned Jordan about what she knew about Alexis's last whereabouts. Jordan said that, again, on October 30th, Alexis had asked her to drive her to the liquor store, and then she agreed before they got home and went to bed at 12:30 a.m., just like we talked about. Again, Jordan said that next morning, she woke up and saw that Alexis was not there. She must have already left for class. When detectives looked around for Alexis's belongings, they were unable to find her cell phone, her debit or credit card, or her student ID. When they looked into her cell phone activity, they found out that the last time she was on her phone was between 2 and 3 a.m. before her phone was then shut off, and then there was no further activity. So police started their searches for Alexis while her family desperately pleaded for her to come home. At a press conference, her family stood in front of the media begging for her safe return. Her father said, "Baby, I love you, baby. Just come home, baby. Just come home." They printed and posted missing persons flyers wherever they could and searched everywhere to find Alexis. Police went around to all of the neighbors at Jordan and Alexis's apartment complex to see if anyone had seen or heard anything from that night, but nobody saw or heard anything out of the ordinary. Meanwhile, Jordan was also posting to her Instagram to talk about Alexis's disappearance and how heartbroken she was. She wrote, "Thank you to everybody that isn't being negative in my DMs. This is obviously a difficult time for me right now, and I just feel helpless. My heart is really hurting. The fact that y'all are telling everybody to blow up my DMs is beyond childish. How about y'all put that same energy y'all put into harass me into finding my friend?" Jordan also posted her missing persons flyer to her Instagram saying, "I just feel helpless. My heart is really hurting right now." But the more detectives investigated, the more suspicious they became of Jordan. First, upon searching Jordan's bathroom, they found a small drop of blood on her sink. They also found a sponge with blood and hair on it in the kitchen sink. Then, after spraying the place with luminol, they found traces of blood in at least 5 to 6 different areas of the apartment. Then, after looking at the surveillance cameras at the apartment complex, video captured both Jordan and Barron getting into Jordan's car at 3 a.m. that day, which goes against their original story that they were in bed by 12:30 a.m. Then at 3:11 a.m., video caught them backing up their car to a door that was off camera, and they stayed there for 6 to 7 minutes. Then at 3:17 a.m., they were seen driving out of the apartment complex parking lot and then returning by 4:09 a.m. After this, police were also able to look into Jordan's cell phone data, and there they found some very interesting text messages. They found messages from Jordan to Barron telling him to destroy the parking lot surveillance cameras, saying, "Just get it done." Then they found text messages between Jordan and another friend, Ayana, where Jordan basically said that her parents had given her this plastic bin and that, they were going to be coming over soon to her apartment to help her move out. Jordan said that this plastic bin was missing and that when her parents came over, they would have asked her about this bin and asked her why it was missing and that it might make them upset. So Jordan told the friend that if my parents, were to ask you, to tell the parents that she borrowed it. We'll get more into the significance of this plastic bin in just a minute. So after gathering all of this evidence against Jordan, police went to her with what they know. At this point, Jordan knew that she had nowhere else to hide, so she admitted to officers that Barron was the one who killed Alexis. She told officers that after going to the liquor store that night when they got home, Jordan admitted to Alexis that Barron had been living in her room for the past 4 days. Obviously, this made Alexis very upset, so the two started fighting. Jordan said that as the two were arguing, Barron just ran out of her room and started choking Alexis. She didn't say anything about taking part in the actual murder. She said that Barron did the whole thing. But when Barron would later be asked about this story, he said that he did strangle Alexis, but that Jordan also grabbed a plastic garbage bag and put it over Alexis's head to suffocate her. They said that Alexis fought as hard as she absolutely could, and she even ripped a hole in the garbage bag when she was trying to breathe. But Barron continued strangling her until she ultimately died. The two said that they knew that she was dying because she sounded like she was in absolute agony, and then they knew that she had passed away when she finally stopped breathing, which is just such a horrific detail. After this, they got a big plastic bin, the same bin that she was referring to earlier in those text messages, and they put Alexis's body in it. They then put the bin with her body into their car and then drove it over to Exchange Park in Decatur. They then took the bin out of the car and then pushed it over a hill and then returned home at 4:09 a.m. and then cleaned up any blood that they saw in the apartment and then went to bed. The next day, the pair went to a Halloween party together as if nothing had happened the night before. After the confession, Jordan took police to where they dumped Alexis's body. When they found her body, they found that she had fallen out of the bin, so basically when they pushed her down the hill, the lid came off and she fell out. They found that she had been wrapped in a blue blanket, and then her hands were bound with the red hoodie that she was last seen wearing, and then the blue t-shirt that she was last seen wearing was wrapped around her neck. Alexis's head was also still inside of the garbage bag that was used to kill her. We know that this was the same garbage bag because it had a hole ripped in it. After sending her body to the medical examiner, an autopsy confirmed that she had died of asphyxiation, basically confirming that she had been strangled to death. Of course, at this point, both Jordan and Barron were arrested and charged with Alexis's murder. Their bond hearings happened in November of 2019, and both of them were denied bond. They found out that just after the murder, Jordan was planning to move back to Michigan. She was already starting to pack up, so she was definitely considered a flight risk. Then in January of 2020, both of them sat in front of separate grand juries who indicted them of murder, felony murder, aggravated murder, false imprisonment, and concealing a death. Barron is also facing his own charges of aggravated sodomy. They are both being held in Fulton County Jail as far as I've last seen, and I don't think they have their trial date set yet. But I do know that the prosecution is not seeking the death penalty for either of them. So that's pretty much where the case sits right now. They've said that they haven't yet identified a motive for this murder, but for most people, it's pretty clear. She was murdered because she reported a rape, and her rapist and his girlfriend didn't want to have to take any responsibility for it. They both just wanted to go on with their lives as if nothing happened, and Alexis was not allowing that to happen. For whatever reason, Jordan cared more about protecting her disgusting rapist boyfriend than protecting her friend who did nothing but love and care about her. They were best friends for 3 years, and everyone said that Alexis just supported Jordan through everything that happened, that the two were basically inseparable, like I said earlier. And I don't know how long Jordan and Barron had been dating, but that doesn't really matter. Any woman who chooses to protect a rapist over protecting another woman is disgusting. It's almost as bad, if not as bad, as the rape itself. Imagine having a best friend and knowing that you have their back no matter what, and thinking that they have your back as well. And then her boyfriend does the most disgusting and degrading thing possible. And instead of, at the very least, keeping him out of the apartment, she invites him back in and goes out of her way to lie to your family about saying that he did not do anything. Because again, let's not forget that Jordan contacted members of Alexis's family to tell them that Barron's DNA was not found inside of her body when it was. Alexis didn't get any support. Yes, of course she got support from her family, but she had to live in fear. And when she found out that her best friend was allowing her rapist to sneak around their apartment, she was killed for it. I think it's really disturbing that nothing was done after the allegations of rape. I guess I understand if Barron didn't have any sort of criminal record, that, they're just allegations. but he clearly had a very long history of violent crime. He clearly didn't have much regard for anybody else but himself, and somebody like that should not be allowed to just walk free after allegations like this. Again, I don't really know how long it took for them to get the results of this DNA kit back. I don't know if they knew at that very time that his DNA was found inside of her body, but still something should have been done. Clearly they knew enough that Jordan was going to her family and saying that they didn't find it. So I don't know if she knew that they found it and that she was just lying, or if she was just like trying to do some damage control before they even found out and say, you know, no, it didn't happen. They might tell you that they found some, but they didn't really. And then people ask why women are afraid to report rape. This is why. This is your prime example. She reported her rape. Nobody did anything, and she was killed for it. It's disgusting, and it sets an awful precedent for those who are going through the same exact thing as Alexis. I will put the website and the number for the sexual assault hotline in the description in case anybody is in this situation and needs help. My heart just goes out to Alexis's family. Oh my gosh, they were so close. They all loved each other so much, and there's no way that they could have known that all of this was going to happen. And I can't even imagine what they felt when they found out what she had to go through in her last days. Despicable is an absolute understatement. I don't know if I've had any case that gave me chills as much as talking about this one does, because this all could have been prevented. This didn't have to happen. And it's just unbelievable that this was even able to happen, that her roommate and her boyfriend were predators and she didn't even know. I've seen that through both of their hearings. Neither of them showed any emotion. Neither of them show any remorse. They don't care what they did. They don't feel bad. They don't feel bad that her friend's dead. They don't feel bad that he raped somebody. They don't feel bad about anything. As far as I've seen, like I said, a trial date has not yet been set for Barron or Jordan. But I'm curious if more information will come out about all of this in the trials, if the two had any issues beforehand, if there was any more that led up to this, if the two had communicated with anyone else about anything before this happened or anything like that. To me, it will be interesting to find out, but it doesn't totally matter. We know what happened, we know why, and that's all we really need to know. But of course, once the trial finally happens, which it's been like almost 2 years now, but once the trial finally happens, I will be following it, and, you know, I'll see if any new information comes out, and I will keep you all updated on any new information that comes out. But either way, before I start ranting about how awful these people are, that is where I'm going to end today's video. If you like this video, please make sure to go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I put up new true crime and mystery videos every single week. Don't forget to go ahead and turn the notification bell to on so you don't miss any of my future videos. Make sure you follow my Twitter and Instagram. Both will be linked down below. I also recently started a Facebook page just called Rachel Shannon, so if you want to go give that a like or follow that, I will be posting some videos on there and, you know, just true crime posts and keeping up with certain cases that I've covered. Not quite sure the plan that I have for that page yet, but just somewhere else to, you know, talk about true crime and share videos. If you have any case suggestions, please make sure to send any suggestion over to my email at RachelShannonCases@gmail.com. With that, I hope you guys have a great week. Stay safe and stay healthy, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.